Coming up on Wyoming News Now at 5:30, Governor Gordon announces an ease in COVID-19 restrictions, plus active cases and hospitalizations in the state have fallen. Coming up on Wyoming News Now at 5:30, a homeless shelter has received a grant to help people in the winter.
And we're also going to be looking at some light snowfall coming up.
And the Buffalo Bills are heading to the second round of playoffs. How did Josh Allen fare? We break it down for you. On Wyoming News Now, Albany County sheriffs are warning of a potential evacuation for some areas around the snowy range. Plus, we have where you can see the best fall foliage in the state. Senator Cynthia Lummis is officially sworn into the Senate. Good evening. I'm Kayla Dixon. Thank you for joining us. She had outgoing Senator Mike Enzi and Senator Barrasso at her side while she read her oath given by Vice President Mike Pence. She spoke with our D.C. Bureau about some of her top priorities.
But I hope to continue to work on Wyoming's important economic issues, our energy sector, agriculture, tourism, recreation, and keeping our beautiful state the wonderful, pristine, fabulous place that it is. And I want to work on bringing fiscal sanity back to our country.
You bear true.
I love that she described Wyoming as fabulous because it is. She's the first woman senator in Wyoming. She is currently waiting to find out her committee assignment until after the Georgia runoff election scheduled for January 5th. Well, if you've been outside, I don't have to tell you it was windy. We're going to send it over to 277 new cases of coronavirus are being reported in Wyoming since Saturday. This brings the number of active cases to 1,369. Close to 45,000 people have tested positive since March, and 43,000 have recovered. Wyoming Department of Health reported 438 deaths. In Laramie County, 32 new cases were reported with 150 active, and in Natrona County, 34 new cases were reported with 110 active. Bars and restaurants will be operating at regular hours starting next Saturday. Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon announced the rollback of the previous health orders earlier on Saturday. He praised the response by Wyomingites, which resulted in a decline in COVID-19 hospitalizations around the state. The updated orders also allow gyms to increase the number of participants in group fitness classes from 10 to 25. And an outgoing Republican state representative says he is organizing a protest to urge Governor Mark Gordon to get rid of health restrictions. Representative Scott Clem says he plans on marching at the state capitol on Monday to protest what he calls the tyranny of the governor and his public health orders meant to reduce the spread of the coronavirus. The state Republican Party leadership has promoted the protest on its Facebook, but says it had no role in organizing it. Representative Clem said the orders are adding more hurt to families and businesses.
I know there's many businesses around Wyoming who feel that the government has been out of line, that has caused them undue harm, financial harm and other forms of harm. People have lost businesses, livelihoods have been ruined. I mean, we've just added more hurt and more trouble on top of the trouble that we already had with COVID-19. It's been grossly irresponsible as far as government is concerned.
We reached out to Governor Gordon's office about the protest, and his spokesperson said, quote, "The governor has heard many criticisms from all sides and understands there are varying perspectives on how to handle this virus and its many impacts. He applauds anyone who exercises their First Amendment rights." We have his full statement on our website. The protest will take place tomorrow at noon at the Capitol. And the Wyoming legislative session is coming up. Bobby Russell spoke with the state superintendent about what she hopes it will look like and the discussion about education funding. New members of the Cheyenne City Council and the new mayor will be sworn in Monday, January 4th at 6 p.m. The sign, die, and swearing-in ceremony will happen in the Cheyenne Civic Center. City Council will begin with the sign, die to ceremonially recognize outgoing Mayor Marion Orr and outgoing council members for their years of service. At the end of the sign, die, the first regular meeting of City Council will happen, where Mayor-elect Patrick Collins and newly elected and re-elected council members will take the oath of office. You can watch the ceremony virtually. This week left behind damage in parts of Brownfield, Texas, where one woman lost her home and almost her life. In the video you're watching, a Brownfield police officer rescuing the woman moments before her home came crumbling. A pair of Air Jordan 1s are now the most expensive sneakers ever auctioned. According to reports, the sneaker you're looking at broke the world record with. Thank you so much, Aaron. A man is in jail this evening after setting fire to a car in a building. Cheyenne Fire Rescue responded to a call of a car fire around 7:40 this morning. Once they arrived on scene, they say the passenger side of the car on fire. Firefighters were able to put the fire out in 4 minutes. There was no damage to the Hirschler building. We did reach out to Wyoming Highway Patrol for more information, and we have not heard back yet. A new federal law is in place if you're selling or buying a vehicle model year 2011 or newer. The Laramie County Clerk's Office wants you to know because of the new federal odometer disclosure rule, cars from 2011 and newer are now subjected to an odometer disclosure for 20 years instead of 10. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's rule is effective January 1st. Under the new rule, the odometer reading must be disclosed at the sale of a 2011 vehicle until 2031. Vehicles for model years 2010 and earlier are exempt from the odometer requirement. Here's some good news for Wyoming. Bitcoin's value is at a record high. One Bitcoin is worth more than $32,000 as of Saturday evening. The virtual currency tripled in value during 2020. Investors have been adding it to their portfolios as the U.S. dollar has weakened. Bitcoin's popularity could grow more if the Federal Reserve maintains low interest rates as expected. Hunting is still legal on privately owned land within Grand Teton National Park in the state. This comes after a federal appeals court upheld the ruling, reaffirming the state's authority over wildlife on the 1% of land that belongs to private owners. Several conservation groups sued over the issue, and the appeals court upheld a 2018 U.S. District Court ruling. The issue began in 2014 when a wolf was shot and killed on private land in the park. Rangers tried to prosecute, but the National Park Service delayed it as it began a review about government jurisdiction over the national park. Governor Mark Gordon said he was most gratified with the court's decision. Cheyenne firefighters have new PPE going into the new year. CARES Act funding was requested and used for some new PPE and equipment. Cheyenne firefighters posted the pictures on your screen on Facebook and said thanks to the diligence and advocacy from Councilman Case, and thank you to those on the State of Wyoming SLIB. The gear is certified to meet the emergency medical service, technical rescue, and wildland firefighting needs. New year, new boo. Well, you may want to double check those pictures on that dating profile. We'll have more on that next.